Have you ever wanted to enjoy a game so much so that you just jump in and get it without doing much research on it at all, mainly because you got hooked by the publisher's marketing?
GameMasters here, and I fell into Elden Ring's marketing hook, line, and sinker. I had no clue of where the game came from, didn't even realize that it was from a pre-existing franchise. I saw the advertisement on Steam, thought the graphics looked really cool. They had 3 or 4 videos of the game. Some were just commercials, cutscenes, but 1 or 2 were of actual gameplay, and that's what hooked me. I got it right then and there. Elden Ring is from FromSoftware and Bandai Namco Entertainment and is set in a world created partially by George R.R. Martin. As I got into the game, I discovered that it is evidently a part of the Dark Souls franchise, which is a game that I've never really played. Perhaps I should have. The gameplay here is me going through the game, and I gotta say that the graphics are stunning and beautiful. Elden Ring has a very detailed character creation, but I went with a default build. I just wanted to jump right in and play the game. There's an intro video that crawls along at a somewhat slow pace, and I get it. It's designed that way to build a feeling of dread of what is about to happen and what is going on. In essence, there is a ring that's been shattered, and several groups are now seeking those fragments, and so are you. I played as a warrior and saw a little animation of what I gather is a spark of a soul that brings me back to life. What killed me to begin with, I'm not really sure. And I exit out into the world only to face a large chasm. I immediately thought of Indiana Jones and decided to take a leap of faith. Well, I died. I spawned back in that opening area, and after wandering around, I found a path that took me to a rather large spider monster boss thing. I died pretty quick. Turns out I think you're actually supposed to die at that point. And after a brief cutscene, I was resurrected by a strange horse thing and was placed in a tunnel system that you see here. Littered throughout the ground are small, shards, bits of silvery things on the ground that tell me to press Y to read them. I press Y on my keyboard, but nothing happens. I eventually figure out that players can put these down, and I guess it saves it in the game for future players to read as hints. Frustration is starting to set in a bit. First, the tutorial is designed to kill you, and I can accept that. It was confusing at first, just not knowing what was going on. Perhaps this is how the other Dark Souls games are played, but I've been looking for a Warcraft replacement for a while. And of course, I had a lot of fun playing Zelda's Breath of the Wild, and Elden Ring appeared to fit that bill. But now it appears that the game was specifically designed for an Xbox controller, which I don't have. I got this from Steam for my computer. Not a major issue. I figure the controls can be edited, so I navigate my way into the settings and figured out how to do that. The next issue of frustration, however, is that everything that pops up is still branded and prompts to make use of the Xbox controller. Press B and A to dodge, or left and X to spin attack. Great, except I'm on my keyboard and I have no clues what those combos translate to. I've since come to understand that there have been many complaints about the lack of controls for the keyboard and that a patch is going to be available soon. Now, this is just flat out stupid. Not the complaints, but the lack of controls to begin with. You're making a game for Steam. Its primary customer base plays games on a keyboard, and you should make that a working function from day one. Yes, one could argue, but this is a Souls game. It's made for Xbox. My counter argument is this. I got it on Steam. It was downloaded on Steam and onto my computer. It is on my computer that I'm going to play it. There is nowhere on Steam that mentions that the Xbox controller is required to play. That all aside, I've explored this tunnel cavern from front to back, and as best I can understand it, I am supposed to kill random zombie monster things, and I get what I'm calling soul bits. I figure this is the game's form of experience. Finally, I find myself in front of a shimmering wall of pea-colored fog, and I step through. Another boss fight. Being a fighter, I try my best in melee, and this is my last straw, my final bit of frustration. This fight is designed in such a way that you have to, I guess, jump, dodge, roll, and swing. And that's all good money, but if you get hit once, you're gonna die, even if you have enough hit points to survive multiple attacks. Okay, so here's what happens. Your character is so slow to stand back up and recover that the enemy NPC is so fast to attack, you're pretty much stuck. I tried this boss several times, each one ending in death. Frustration has set in completely now, and I'm just not having fun at all. It took me just a few moments to figure out how to close out the game, but once I was able to X out of it, I went right to my Steam console, clicked uninstall, and went right to the area to request a refund. Yes, the graphics are beautiful, but the controls are not. And if the combat is designed in such a way that you have to die multiple times in order to get past a boss, that's just not a game for me. I'm fully willing to accept that it's probably not the game, it's rather me. I'm sure that my playing skills just suck, and I'm getting older. My fingers aren't as nimble as they used to be. So yeah, I'll put that blame on me. In the end, the game is just, Elden Ring is just not for me. It released on February 25th, retails for $59.99. It's available for various consoles and of course the PC via Steam. Now, one game that I did get on Steam that I've had a lot of fun playing is Dark Alliance, a Dungeons and Dragons game, and you can check that game review out here. Have you played Elden Ring? Do you plan to get it? What platform? If you do me a favor and tell me your experience with its play in the comments below. I'd love to hear what others think and how they're playing it. Until next our paths cross, may you not die 7 times to the same boss.